up a tongue shock and feel the taste rocket. Head first with the flavor burst, hit him with that max taste just to free your thirst. So come on, hella ice cold, taste so bold. Been a living, shiver, giving, winning when we loving Pepsi. Can't get enough. Bold living, always loving Pepsi, Pepsi. Bold living, always loving Pepsi, Pepsi. Burst, hit him with that max taste just to free your thirst.
तीन तो लगेंगे घर भर के जब कपड़े धुलेंगे
10 वाले 3 तो लगेंगे
अब लगेगा सिर्फ एक 3 से बेहतरीन नया एरियल बीज
जिसमें है 3 10 वाले सैशों के बराबर पाउडर यानी 10 रुपए की बचत अब से
लगेगा बस एक लगेगा 3 से बेहतर बस एक लगेगा
3 से बेहतरीन
एक एरियल बीज।
भाभी ईद की दावत का तो मजा ही आ गया। थैंक यू। वैसे क्या क्या बनाया डॉक्टर बहू ने? जॉब से उसे फुर्सत मिल गई थी ये सब कुछ बनाने की? मेरी डॉक्टर बहू ने आज मरीजों को सेहतियाब बनाया। उससे पहले सारी दावत का मेन्यू बनाया और हाँ वो बहुत मजेदार शामी कबाब बनाए। निहारी मैंने बनाई और टिक्के मेरे बेटे ने। अरे खाला आप मीठा ट्राई करें ना, ये हम सब ने बनाया। खाना बनाना किसी एक का काम तो नहीं, शान खुशियाँ चख ले।
ओह शान, इस गर्मी ने तो शान ने गुस्ताखी कर दी है। फासला रखें वरना जाया हो जाएगा। आसमान भी आग बरसा रहा है। दिल तो चाह रहा है इसको घुमा घुमा के तू टेंशन ना ले, हवा आने दे। गर्मी भगा, ठंड रख, स्प्राइट।
मेरी डॉक्टर बहू ने आज मरीजों को सेहतियाब
सेफगार्ड से नहाना
मतलब ब्रांडेड वापस कल ही तो शैम्पू किया था। ले आओ हेड एंड शोल्डर, इसका बाकायदा इस्तेमाल करें। खुश्की के जर्म पर असर 100% तक खुश्की मिटाए, कंधे से बोझ हटा दे। स्टेट लाइफ पर्सनल पेंशन स्कीम आपकी सरमायाकारी पर दे डबल मुनाफा, वो भी सबसे ज्यादा पेंशन के साथ। स्टेट लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान।
आ गया नया एरियल ब्लू फॉर्मूले के साथ जो गिराएगा धूल, मिट्टी और पसीने के दागों की हर दीवार।
वीकली प्रो लगाएं और डिजिटल हो जाए। 40 GB डेटा, 250 अदर नेटवर्क मिनट, 1599 में पूरा हफ्ता 4G।
Nestle Fruta Vital Sparkling Fruit Drink, the delightful fusion of soda and fruit juice.
Couple of days in the net, and he feels like every day he's getting better. Every day, marginally better than the last from that PCL injury. Stefan Meinberg, vastly experienced at the top of the order for the Dutch. Into Prikamjit Singh, and he is the form player. Takes those out at the other end. He's made decent amount of runs across this tournament, including in the last game against India.
We had the countdown, and Shaheen Shedafridi will start this encounter for Pakistan. Targeting the stumps, full length, giving it the opportunity to swing through the air. But we didn't see much swing in the air in the warm-up, did we? It was difficult to get the ball to shape.
Shane Shadafridi and I were having a good laugh about it because his seam position was perfect in the warm-up. We were having a good chat, and he was asking me tips because not a single ball went off the straight. It's actually remarkable given what we've seen so far in the tournament, because every game it seems that the ball's swinging a little bit more than what we're traditionally used to here in Australia.
Edge, but it goes down. It was almost like it's an under edge. Bouncing well short of the slip cordon. And now his first shot in anger.
I think what the Dutch will be happy with today is being able to go out there and bat with a little bit of freedom. So often they've had sort of the scoreboard pressure when they're chasing and they've had a target to try and go for, whereas here they're able to come out and just play their game. I think that's going to be a welcome relief for their top order especially.
Swing and a miss. And we saw that a lot last game out at the Spurs Stadium was Afghanistan versus England, and I think that's the big adjustment that's difficult to make, that extra bounce that you experience here in Perth. One of the batters battled to come to terms with it. It's also interesting to have a look at the field that's been set. Short mid-wicket is in front of square, and I don't know what the pace on this surface and the bounce that you tend to get. I would think Shut Khan, I think it's field in that position would be more closer towards square leg. That's a nice strike, but straight to the fielder. Bat on ball, still no runs. Umpires for today, Richard Illingworth, and in his fourth T20. But actually thought he would have done more of that than that. Obviously it's focused on the test matches. 4 out, also 24th T20 international for him. So a good start this from Shane Sharafridi. Going through for a quick single, and I just wonder if it wouldn't have been better to be Shine at McDowell's end.
A little bit of hesitation from O'Dowd. Ends up getting there very comfortably.
Yeah, with the surface they're playing onto the left hand is when you smack the ball into the outfield, it's straight into the grassy period. There's no further pitches to the right-hand side of the surface that's been used. So if it gets into that outfield quickly, it's going to be judged as a wide.
That actually makes a huge difference, particularly when the boundary is so large onto that side. Normally when you get these big squares, your first bounce or two is on that hard surface and actually scoots along, and it almost makes those long boundaries play a little bit shorter. Now here at the Perth Stadium, it's going to take some hitting to score a 4.
First over completed and 2 runs on the board.
ये शीशा नहीं जुड़ने वाला, लेकिन क्यों? आसिफ अली ने शॉट मारा था। रुखसाना आंटी के लिए आसिफ अली से टूटे शीशे की सीधी सारी खुशी है सुपर। जिंदगी से शेयर्स खरीदो और बेचो, प्रॉफिट बनाओ, पैसे कमाते जाओ। स्टॉक ट्रेडिंग इतनी सिंपल। वाओ, डाउनलोड जिंदगी ऐप नाउ। सेफगार्ड से नहाना, जस्ट नहाना।
आजकल क्रिकेट तो कल स्टेडियम की विनिंग क्रिकेट इसके टैलेंट को बढ़ाने में साथ दे रहे हैं थ्रू द एंगल क्रिकेट कोचिंग प्रोजेक्ट।
हमारा रहबर सबसे बेहतर।
40 से ज्यादा ममालिक में एक्सपोर्ट होने वाला पाकिस्तान नंबर 1 एक्सपोर्ट टाइप का सर्विस।
Trying to get the hit up. Yeah. This is the field in front of the square that I was saying. I was questioning as to why it was there. Goes directly to him. So, obviously they know something I don't. It's interesting to see the strategy here for Marburg. Does he try and bludgeon the ball in front of square, or does he use the pace to his advantage? I think to get yourself in, it might not be a bad option just to use that pace and score behind square on both sides. Nicely bowled.
It's unusual in that normally the faster the pace of the ball and the faster the surface, the finer you have your field. And so that's why we're both sort of umming and ahhing about that mid-wicket position. generally speaking, all those fielders are slightly squarer in front of the wicket, and behind square they're a little bit finer.
Tries to hammer it away again, and he's getting in front of square, but he can't find any timing at this stage, Marburg, which is not surprising. He sat on the side for a while, and difficult to make the adjustment. Seem operating and hitting a decent slice of the bat, 140 kilometers per hour.
You can see there how late he is on the balls, hitting right up in the stickers. Difficult to come to terms with a fast bouncy pitch like this, particularly when you're just fresh back in the side after a period off.
That's nicely played, but a brilliant bit of fielding cuts it off, and we'll probably just have to settle for the single. But that was brilliant. That was fantastic timing by Marburg. A little bit of width there from Naseem Shah.
Yeah, but not much. Created a little bit of width. See there almost the weight going back towards the leg side as he punches that. And the way he came off the bat, that shot, he'd feel probably unlucky that he didn't score 4.
Fakir Zaman was the fielder who did brilliantly to cut that off, got a hand on it.
What we've seen succeed on these surfaces, teams being consistent with their line and length. You don't necessarily need to try and blast the side out on a surface such as this turf pitch. So difficult to score on such a fast pitch when the ball's nice and straight, and just good quality balls rather than trying to bowl bounces. We've seen bounces going over the top of the keeper's head. It's when you start getting top edge and searching for Yorkers, you go for a run.
A little bit of movement through the air, so a good over from Naseem to start. Just 1 run from it, 3 without loss.
जिंदगी से अपनी सेविंग्स म्यूचुअल फंड्स में लगाओ, बेस्ट रिटर्न पाते जाओ। इन्वेस्टमेंट इतनी सिंपल। वाओ, डाउनलोड जिंदगी ऐप नाउ। Nestle Super Vital Sparkling Fruit Drink, the delightful fusion of soda and fruit juice.
sLiveStreaming, पाकिस्तान का बेहतरीन इस्लामी बैंक।
मैं हूं शाहीन अफरीदी और मेरा बैंक है sLiveStreaming।
sLiveStreaming, बढ़ो यकीन के साथ।
जो कैनन इलेक्ट्रिक वाटर हीटर लगाते हैं वो बांटने से नहीं घबराते हैं।
Zong Weekly Pro लगाएं और डिजिटल हो जाए। 40 GB डेटा, 250 other network में।
And that's brilliant. That's the first real shot of authority. Marburg had another one in the last over, but that is quality from him.
Yeah, this makes the point. You just are content to be consistent with your line and length, you'll succeed here. But anything wide like that gets punished. I like that little shuffle that Marburg gives as well, just to put the bowler on for a fraction. Get the Dutcher to make a good total here. They need to be really aggressive in their stroke play.
Use of the feet, trying to take him on. It's banged in short. This could be the first one. It is. Good catch taken at fine leg, and Shaheen Afridi has his man. Saw a little shimmy from Marburg, trying to upset the length, but not working out.
Classic Perth wicket. And a well-positioned fine leg as well. He was very fine. This catch ends up being taken almost behind the wicketkeeper. Cramped him up for room, and again that extra pace and bounce on this Perth pitch brings about yet another batsman's undoing. First wicket falls to 7. Marburg needs to go for 6.
आ गया नया एरियल ब्लू फॉर्मूले के साथ जो गिराएगा धूल, मिट्टी और पसीने के दागों की हर दीवार। Zong Weekly Pro लगाएं और डिजिटल हो जाए। 40 GB डेटा, 250 other network में। सिर्फ 399 रुपए में पूरा हफ्ता। Zong 4G।
The new Bresso Breeze Cream, पाँव सितारों जैसी ग्लो।
बैडमिंटन, पाकिस्तान का सबसे मजबूत है। जो आप खुद महसूस कर सकते।
और इस मोहब्बत को हमेशा अपने अंदर कायम रखना, इसी का नाम तो सूफी है। सूफी जनाब है एतमाद का।
Freddie gets his first wicket of the tournament, so he'll be better for that experience.
Getting so late on that pull shot. And comfortably taken in the deep. It was interesting speaking with him, Shane Sharda-Freedy, prior to this game. He almost seems frustrated in himself. He knows that he's going to get better. He knows that by each run, each effort that he has out in the middle or in the nets, he's improving, getting back to fitness. The heel injury that he's had is getting better. He's just trying to get strong and get his legs back up to speed again. He has taken a fair period off, and it does take a while to get back in. That snap that he has at the end of his bowling attack, his bowling action, is so unique to him.
Inside edge, and they'll be considering coming back for two. Down sides against it. Yeah, he's really come on in leaps and bounds, hasn't he, over the last 3 or 4 years? Especially when he burst onto the scene, didn't have that ability to shape it back consistently at the right-handers. And ever since he's learned that art and got a strong wrist position, he's asked a lot more questions and become more effective in all formats of the game. Good start this for Pakistan, having lost the toss, being asked to bowl first. First short pitch delivery of the day. 3 down, 9 on 4.
बॉडी वाले बालों के लिए बॉडी वाला शैम्पू फॉर हेयर फॉल पैंटीन इज मैचो। इसमें है फर्मेंटेड राइस वाटर और प्रोमेटिनिक फॉर्मूला जो सिर्फ 14 दिन में हेयर फॉल कम करे। पैंटीन।
State Life Insurance Corporation of Pakistan।
जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी वाले सर्विस टाइल्स लगवाओ, क्योंकि ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी।
नेमत कुकिंग ऑयल से बना हर खाना है अपनाइए और किफायत से भरा, क्योंकि मेहनत से जिंदगी।
हमारा रहबर सबसे बेहतर।
और किसी पे नजर क्यों जाए?
कैट हनी लोशन।
Up and over, nasty play. Didn't get the timing he was after, but still good enough to take it for London to come back for the second.
Just over pitching fraction. I think an area where the Dutch have struggled a fraction so far is how do you score off good bowling? I think we saw that in the last game when Indians bowled so well against them. How can you continue to score and put the pressure back onto the bowler? And I think that's something that they've been working on between games.
That's nicely bowled. Bit of away movement, beats the outside edge.
Difficult to score against something like that, zipping past the outside edge. But often it's an intent thing, and I think we saw that with Myberg. Yes, it didn't work today, but you could see the intent there to move around and try and upset the bowler. I think that's the type of thing that they need to do, really try and get bogged down by good quality bowling.
Can't set one down to third man for a single. Let's hear a little bit from it out. Netherlands T20 score for him. This time bowling is something he enjoys. Leading run scorer of the last 2 years. They need some runs from him today. It's interesting to notice the surface. It'll probably get quicker as the day goes on, but it almost seems like the shorter balls are just sticking in the pitch attached. So maybe some moisture was placed on overnight, and we did see the Hessian on when we first arrived at the ground today, which tends to suggest they're trying to keep that moisture trapped. Maybe due to the fact that it's a double header, they want to keep it as hard, but there's going to be a roll between innings, there's going to be a roll between matches, and maybe it'll speed up a little bit as the day goes on. Running, trying to adjust the length, and Pakistan have done really well. They've held their length. They haven't ventured too full. They've been pretty disciplined in their approach. And we can see that the leader's trying to upset that good line of length.
Well, another thing they did prior to the game is they had the covers out there, not on the pitch, but near the pitch for a very long time. They were concerned that it was going to rain, but from now on, I think the forecast is clear.
And there's a big appeal from Nasim Shah. He's convinced that that's gone. Rizwan is going to have a word with the captain, and I think this is going to be sent upstairs. Maybe not. End of the fourth, 12 for 1.
मैच में तो मुझे आउट किया था नसीम शाह ने। नहीं
इनके लिए तो नसीम शाह से आउट होने की सीधी सादी खुशी है।
इसमें से एक पिक्चर लूंगा। पेश है नया जिलेट ब्लू फ्री फ्लेक्स, अब सुपर लॉक पैक में।
केएनएन लाया आपके लिए होम स्टाइल कोफ्ता, घर जैसी रिवायती लज्जत के साथ सेफ एंड हेल्दी चिकन। केएनएन
आज स्कूल में प्रैक्टिस, कल स्टेडियम में गोल। ऐसे टैलेंट को बढ़ाने में साथ दे रहे हैं हम थ्रू द एंग्लो फुटबॉल ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम।
State Life Insurance Corporation of Pakistan.
Song Weekly Pro लगाएं और डिजिटल हो जाए। 40 GB डेटा, 250 अदर नेटवर्क में सिर्फ 399 रुपए में।
Figures of his were a few nights back. Come on, dude, talk me through this. Talk me through this.
Well, the bowler was absolutely convinced that he'd taken a wicket, and he didn't even turn around and look at the umpire until late. He just assumed that he had the wicket. Absolutely nothing on it, and the reaction from the keeper was
Nice play, Cogway, and away to the boundary. A little bit of width, and they're able to work with it. Good shot by the leader.
width and short enough to be able to just play the uppercut. Well played for Paul. Hutchins had precious little width to feast on so far in this innings. And a real disciplined bowling effort so far from Pakistan.
It has been really good, and as the changes are made, new people are introduced into the attack. That's where maybe the opportunity may be. But not if you bowl like that.
Rizwan there showing more interest in that catch than he did in the previous over. Absolutely brushed the bowler down the other end.
The one slip in place, give himself some room, trying to free up the offside. Something as it went past here, it was almost like a stump mark, but no appeal from behind.
Well, you were out there before today speaking to the Pakistan bowlers, asking them what length do you need to bowl on this pitch to actually hit the top of off stump, and I reckon that was around the spot that you said was going to hit the top of the stumps.
It was actually interesting. They were sounding me out saying how would you have gone on this? And you just talk about individually, each one of you bowlers is different. So you've got to somehow find out what length you need to hit. I mean, Shane Afridi's a little bit taller than the other, so what length do you need to hit to get it somewhere near the top of the stumps? That was pretty good. Oh, that's the challenge. If it's still back over length, nice and straight, the cross-bat shots are really going to be challenging for the Dutch.
Is that something that you seriously considered every time before you bowled? You actually thought about the pitch and thought of a spot on the pitch where you would try and target?
Yeah, so my key for me was top of off, so I just used to go, often the net practices were trying to work out what the ideal length for that surface was going to be. So Perth might be 5 meters, Pakistan might be 7 meters, but they all end up in the same place. So what was my length to hit in order to get top of off wherever I went in the world? And obviously the conditions change as you go along. Fuller in England, shorter in South Africa. Popped in the air. There'll be a little single to end the over. So 6 runs from the 5th. Netherlands, 18-4.
Nestle Fruta Vital Sparkling Fruit Drink with the right infusion of soda and fruit juice.
Care Honey Lotion. Song Wiki Pro लगाएं और डिजिटल हो जा 40 GB डेटा 250 अदर नेटवर्क में सिर्फ 399 रुपए में पूरा हफ्ता Song 4G
टायर मजबूत सफर में
With new Bristol Bleach Cream. पाप सितारों जैसे ग्लो जिंदगी से अपनी सेविंग्स म्यूचुअल फंड्स में लगाओ बेस्ट रिटर्न पास इन्वेस्टमेंट इतनी सिंपल वाओ डाउनलोड जिंदगी ऐप नाउ
State Life Insurance Corporation of Pakistan.
5 winning cricket तो कल स्टेडियम की विनिंग विकेट रिश्तेदारों को बढ़ाने में साथ दे रहे हैं through the England Cricket Coaching Project.
In that previous game against Zimbabwe, they were erring to for the first 3 overs. They went for quite a few boundaries with the drive shot. But today it's been spot on. It's been back of a length into the pitch. They've learned quickly and it's been difficult for the Dutch. Even with Shaheen, who's just dragged his length back, which is good because there's not a lot of swing, but you use that bit of bounce, bit of pace, and just keep hammering away. Haris Rock has just carried on. He was superb in the previous game, just 12 runs off him. Again, he's been probably the best bowler for Pakistan, especially because of that express pace.
Spoke a lot about the options for Pakistan coming into this World Cup, the amount of pace they have. They should like these conditions. And it's tough, certainly, from the Netherlands' point of view. As Delayed is a very good player. He's one of their top batters and has been for a little while, but the pace so far has been tough for him. 143 kilometers an hour. Surprisingly, there's been quite a few plays and misses. Spoke about the wind swirling around. They're adding to it at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're missing it by quite a long way as well. The pace, the bounce. Goes again, back of a length. Again, it's that short of a length which is the trouble. And 90 miles an hour, that doesn't hurt either.
That is good. That was quick. We're just talking about the pace and bounce. Hopefully Bustelator is okay. straight away there is concern. Of course, the physio will come out, they'll do some questions, they'll check the helmets as well. Straight away concern for everybody around. Didn't sound good. It was quick.
अब लगेगा सिर्फ एक 3 से बेहतरीन नया एरियल बीस,
जिसमें है 3 10 वाले सैशों के बराबर पाउडर, यानी 10 रुपए की बचत। अब से
3 से बेहतरीन एक एरियल बीस।
भाभी, ईद की दावत का तो मजा ही आ गया। थैंक यू। वैसे क्या क्या बनाया डॉक्टर बहू ने? जॉब से उसे फुर्सत मिल गई थी ये सब कुछ बनाने की?
मेरी डॉक्टर बहू ने आज मरीजों को सेहतियाब बनाया। उससे पहले सारी दावत का मेन्यू बनाया। और हाँ, वो बहुत मजेदार शामी कबाब बनाए। निहारी मैंने बनाई और टिक्के मेरे बेटे ने।
अरे खाला, आप मीठा ट्राई करें ना, ये हम सब ने बनाया।
खाना बनाना किसी एक का काम तो नहीं, शान, खुशियाँ चख लो।
ओह शान, इस गर्मी ने तो शान ने गुस्ताखी कर दी है। फासला रखें वरना जाया हो जाएगा। आसमान भी आग बरसा रहा है। दिल तो चाह रहा है इसको घुमा घुमा के तू टेंशन ना ले, हवा आने दे। गर्मी भगा, ठंड रख, स्प्राइट।
सुपर लाया, सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स। शहर में, गांव में, धूप में, छांव में, घर में, सफर में और दफ्तर में सुपर का सॉफ्ट बेक्स मिला है। ताजा मजा है, नरम मुलायम और मीठा है। सबसे आगे, सबसे ऊपर सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर। दिखता है, आता है, जाता है, चाय का मजा ये उठाता है। इतना जुदा के सबको ये पाता है।
एक चाय 2 सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स लाता है।
हमसे तुम है इसके मजे में, सब ही गुम है इसके मजे में। सबसे आगे, सबसे ऊपर सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर। सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर। सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर।
अब से
3 से बेहतरीन।
This poppin', got your mouth dropping, super tongue shocking, feel the taste rocking. Head first with the flavor burst, hit 'em with that max taste just to free your thirst. So come on, hella ice cold, taste so bold, feeling living, shiver, giving, winning when we loving Pepsi. Can't get enough, bold living, always loving Pepsi, Pepsi, living, always loving Pepsi, Pepsi.
मेन्यू बनाया।
3 तो लगेंगे, घर भर के जब कपड़े धुलेंगे।
10 वाले 3 तो लगेंगे।
अब लगेगा सिर्फ एक 3 से बेहतरीन नया एरियल बीस,
जिसमें है 3 10 वाले सैशों के बराबर पाउडर, यानी 10 रुपए की बचत। अब से
3 से बेहतरीन एक एरियल बीस।
भाभी, ईद की दावत का तो मजा ही आ गया। थैंक यू। वैसे क्या क्या बनाया डॉक्टर बहू ने? जॉब से उसे फुर्सत मिल गई थी ये सब कुछ बनाने की?
मेरी डॉक्टर बहू ने आज मरीजों को सेहतियाब बनाया। उससे पहले सारी दावत का मेन्यू बनाया। और हाँ, वो बहुत मजेदार शामी कबाब बनाए। निहारी मैंने बनाई और टिक्के मेरे बेटे ने।
अरे खाला, आप मीठा ट्राई करें ना, ये हम सब बनाए।
खाना बनाना किसी एक का काम तो नहीं, शान, खुशियाँ चख लो।
ओह शान, इस गर्मी ने तो शान ने गुस्ताखी कर दी है। फासला रखें वरना जाया हो जाएगा। आसमान भी आग बरसा रहा है, दिल तो चाह रहा है इसको घुमा घुमा के तू टेंशन ना ले, हवा आने दे। गर्मी भगा, ठंड रख, स्प्राइट।
Big Green Super Layer, Super Soft Bakes. शहर में, गाँव में, धूप में, छाँव में, घर में, सफर में और दफ्तर में, सुपर का सॉफ्ट बेक्स मिला है। दूध का ताजा मजा है, नरम मुलायम और मीठा है। सबसे आगे, सबसे ऊपर, सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर। बिकता है, आता है, जाता है, चाय का मजा ये उठाता है। इतना जुदा के सबको ये पाता है।
एक चाय 2 सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स लाता है।
हम हैं, तुम है, इसके मजे में सब ही गुम है। इसके मजे में सबसे आगे, सबसे ऊपर, सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर। सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर। सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर। Got your mouth dropping, super tongue shocking, feel the taste rocking. Head first with the flavor burst, hit 'em with that max taste just to free your thirst. So come on, holla ice cold, taste so bold, feeling living, shiver, giving, winning when we loving Pepsi. Can't get enough, bold living, always loving Pepsi, Pepsi. Bold living, always loving Pepsi, Pepsi.
दिन तो लगेंगे घर भर के जब कपड़े धुलेंगे।
10 वाले दिन तो लगेंगे।
अब लगेगा सिर्फ एक 3 से बेहतरीन नया एरियल बीट्स,
जिसमें है 3 10 वाले सैशों के बराबर पाउडर, यानी 10 रुपए की बचत। अब से
लगेगा बस एक लगेगा, 3 से बेहतर बस एक लगेगा।
3 तरीन एक एरियल बीट्स।
भाभी, ईद की दावत का तो मजा ही आ गया। थैंक यू। वैसे क्या क्या बनाया डॉक्टर बहू ने? जॉब से उसे फुर्सत मिल गई थी ये सब कुछ बनाने की?
मेरी डॉक्टर बहू ने आज मरीजों को सेहतियाब बनाया। उससे पहले सारी दावत का मेन्यू बनाया। और हाँ, वो बहुत मजेदार शामी कबाब बनाए। निहारी मैंने बनाई और टिक्के मेरे बेटे ने।
अरे खाला, आप मीठा ट्राई करें ना, ये हम सब ने बनाए।
खाना बनाना किसी एक का काम तो नहीं, शान, खुशियाँ चख लो।
ओह शान, इस गर्मी ने तो शान ने गुस्ताखी कर दी है। फासला रखें वरना जाया हो जाएगा। आसमान भी आग बरसा रहा है, दिल तो चाह रहा है इसको घुमा घुमा के तू टेंशन ना ले, हवा आने दे। गर्मी भगा, ठंड रख, स्प्राइट।
10 रुपए की बचत।
Big Green Super Layer, Super Soft Bakes. शहर में, गाँव में, धूप में, छाँव में, घर में, सफर में और दफ्तर में, सुपर का सॉफ्ट बेक्स मिला है। दूध का ताजा मजा है, नरम मुलायम और मीठा है। सबसे आगे, सबसे ऊपर, सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स एक है सुपर। बिकता है, आता है, जाता है, चाय का मजा ये उठाता है। इतना जुदा के सबको ये पाता है।
एक चाय 2 सुपर सॉफ्ट बेक्स लाता है।